I'm seeing Dune 2 tonight.
Oh, great. What cinema?
No, I'm going to the Americana.
Okay. If you're in the VMAX at the Americana, the sound is amazing.
Really?
Your body rattles throughout the whole thing. It's really
Are they all like that, or do
bassy.
I have to pick a specific theater?
They've got 2 VMAX theaters at the Americana, okay. So it comes up on the app. You'll see like VMAX, and it's such a good time.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
The music's so good. The Harkonnen music is so creepy when it's that loud.
Yeah, I want to go again and get it on IMAX.
Oh, yeah.
But the sound is also so amazing. Americana will be.
Okay, good. I just watched the first one for the first time last week.
What did you make of Dune?
Regular Dune?
Yeah, regular Dune.
Dune 1. I watched it last week in anticipation of wanting to go to the movie theater, being excited that there's something fun in the movie theater.
You watched it on TV, laptop?
TV, rented, even though turns out it's available.
On a couple platforms, I think.
Yeah,
so,
it's okay. That's okay.
But I really liked it a lot. I watched with subtitles, which I think was great. And I'm a little anxious about the theater not having subtitles.
What do you need the subtitles for?
I don't know when it started, but now I exclusively watch everything with subtitles.
This is so interesting. The subtitle thing has crept in, and my theory is it's because there was an argument back in the day that people didn't like watching non-English language films as English speakers because the subtitles were so hard to read. They're like, I don't want to read subtitles. Then I think what happened is TikTok came along and Instagram came along where people got used to having 20-second captions, and they loved it because they were on the bus. They didn't have headphones in and they could watch these videos. And I think that slowly made people go, and then fucking Rosabelle infuriates me how she watches her media.
Don't put an egg on her head.
She deserves an egg, 2 eggs on her head when you hear how she consumes media.
Oh my God.
She'll be in the kitchen cooking, loud, there's things frying, there's steam in the room.
Yeah.
And she's got some prestige film on her laptop, which is splattered with oil and stuff. The screen's a mess.
And she
can't hear.
Watching.
She's half watching. Someone's, put so much love into this movie.
Yeah.
And the subtitles are on. And she's sort of half reading it across the cooking that she's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm ranting a bit here. But my point is, suddenly we have a population that loves, and so many friends' houses now. I'm watching Curb Your Enthusiasm at my neighbor's house, watching it whenever it comes out. The subtitles are on.
Yeah.
And I'm almost done.
You hate it.
I can't deal with it, especially if you're watching comedy.
Yeah.
You see the joke coming.
That's true.
Oh.
Yes, you're right about that.
I've been captions for years, always.
Yeah. I mean, you're a bad watcher. You're like Rosabelle. You're watching stuff in the background while you're working and stuff.
When I'm actually watching, I'm subtitles.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? Do you want to read a book or watch a movie?
Listen,
it sounds like you want to read a book.
I do want to read a book. I just haven't made time for it. But I think for me, it started maybe when I was watching something epic, like Game of Thrones. I didn't watch it with Game of Thrones, and that's a huge regret.
Yeah, right. You missed stuff.
I would like to go back and watch it fully with subtitles because I will retain so much more.
See, that's a good point for clarity because I often get muddy in stories as well. And actually, I hadn't really thought about that, of actually solidifying what you're watching and helping with reading of the text. The other thing I find funny about subtitles is that, and this is getting better, they're so ugly. Someone's poured all this money into a film and then some horrific Times New Roman font pops up.
Yeah.
Something Saltburn did that I think was really good. They had really beautiful subtitles.
They did? I don't remember.
A beautiful font. It was like, it actually looked like they'd thought about this thing.
Was it the Saltburn font?
It was, or it was a version of that.
That seems hard to read. And then if I'm having a hard time reading,
you want Times New Roman, size 14,
I want
bowls.
easy.
Yeah.
You know, have you done anything dubbed with subtitles? That's the worst because the English
dubs
level will be wrong with the subtitles.
Oh, right. No, I haven't. I've never done that combo.
I try not to do dubs for that reason, but if I'm trying to work and watch something, I'll do that.
I mean, the cool thing about it is that it's accessible for people. I remember when we delivered Dark Tourist to Netflix, they were like, it's going to take 6 months for us to get this thing out because they do all the translations and all the dubs. Because they basically get all your content. They have to get transcripts for everything. Then they have to not only subtitle it, but get it dubbed in all these different languages.
That's interesting.
Which is a cool feature of streaming in that it's so accessible to people that don't speak whatever language it's made in.
Also now, that would take 5 minutes.
I'll just get AI in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah. Anyway, no, look, June is going to be incredible. You're going to be okay without subtitles in the movies because you'll be so overwhelmed by the big worms, the big noises, big Timothy,
don't like the
Sham.
worms.
Oh, there's some worms in there.
Really? Like
There's some
big
big
time?
worms.
They're a big feature in this new
Yeah.
one.
Oh, really?
Because you got a little smattering of the worms in part 1.
Yeah.
This is full worm.
Oh,
Big worms.
sick.
And I love the Americana as well.
Me too. I'm going to go to Sephora.
I want to try and live above there at some point in one of those apartments. Because you know they have
Oh.
apartments above all those shops. So you don't know the Americana is like this, sort of like a dreamland. You walk into, it's like the Grove.
It is the
It's
same.
the same guy, right? Yeah. We went to the Amazon store there for the
for
Amazon
social
episode.
video.
But yeah, you're surrounded by shops, but then people live upstairs in the apartments.
Yeah.
And I just think it would be such a funny place to live.
What part would you like about it? Looking at people, or would you
I
like
would
walking
love
around?
people watching, and then I would say, "Oh, I feel like getting a magazine," and I'd walk down to the
know.
bookstore. I'd be, "I want to go to a movie." I'd just wander down there. I think you'd slowly get driven mad by the mall music
Yeah,
drifting in the window.
for sure.
And Cheesecake Factory.
Oh my God, Cheesecake
eat there
Factory
every day.
Oh, that's fun.
It's a lifestyle choice. I also want to know who chooses to live at a mall
Me too.
in America. I want to know those people.
I like a 12-year-old girl's dream.
Yeah, totally.
Dream.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't lived above a mall in my
I'm
life.
surprised as well. I'll let you know how I get on. I'm sort of slowly looking at the real estate up there and seeing what the rents are.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get on to Loma Linda.
Okay.
This is the introduction. I'm David Farrier, a New Zealander accidentally marooned in America, and I want to figure out what makes this country tick. Now, one thing I like about America is this idea that you can become whatever you want to be. If you work hard enough, put enough time in, all your dreams can come true. And for some Americans, that dream has been to cheat death and live forever. It's a bold dream, not for everybody, but quite a few people are trying to crack it.
Using the best science, trying to do all the appropriate interventions to neutralize my aging process.
That was Brian Johnson, a 46-year-old American who regularly injects himself with his 17-year-old son's plasma in order to de-age himself. Or there's Elon Musk, whose Neuralink program sees him implanting microchips in people's brains so one day their consciousness can be uploaded into the cloud for all eternity. I started to wonder why Americans are trying to cheat death, or at least cheat the appearance of aging with cosmetic dental work and plastic surgery. And I got to thinking that maybe it's because America has a lower life expectancy rate than many other middle to high income countries. Even though America spends more on healthcare than any other nation on earth, it's 59th on the life expectancy list. Your average American will get to celebrate their funeral when they're 76 years old, compared with 85 in China, 80 in Greece, and 82 in New Zealand. By moving here to America, I realize I've statistically shaved 6 years off my own life. As the panic set in, I wondered what I could do to improve my chances. I don't have a son, so I don't have ready access to teenage blood. And no shade here, but I don't trust Elon Musk to put a chip in my brain. So I started looking at life expectancy rates across America. And to my delight and surprise, I discovered a city with the highest life expectancy rate in America was just an hour's drive away. Loma Linda, population 9,000, an average life expectancy 10 years longer than the average American. So, pack up your bags and get ready to live longer, because this is the Loma Linda episode.
Flightless, flightless, flightless bird touchdown in America. I'm a flightless bird touchdown in America.
So I started this episode sort of in a whimsical way, but
Yeah.
as I've done it, I've gotten increasingly more stressed about life expectancy.
Oh, you've been thinking about it?
Well, kind of. I didn't realize it's not that high.
It's not. I
And-
didn't know that. Well, men are bringing that down.
I mean, to bring it,
Women
down.
is
Me-
higher.
Yeah, we do die earlier because we're
And-
working harder.
I hate to tell you this.
That's a joke.
Yeah, I
It's a
didn't
joke.
even hear it. I can't even hear that anymore. I hate to tell you this, but you have two problems.
Okay.
One being a man,
Mm-hmm.
and
yeah.
two,
Hard being a man. It's tough.
being
Oh.
an unmarried man.
Yeah.
Married men, we looked this up, they do tend to live longer, which is such a weird thing.
Married men do.
Yes, and it obviously makes sense. It's because the wife is like, you got to go to the doctor,
Yeah.
or you have something on your butt, like,
Yeah.
and you have a lump.
pushing you along.
You
Yeah,
better
got the
go get
lump.
it checked out.
Yeah, go and check out that
and then
lump.
tell me what that lump is.
Yeah.
And then they never do tell you what the lump is. So you have 2 strikes.
It's not great thinking about that. And I mean, we spend all of our time trying not to die. All the time.
Okay,
Like
I have to knock on wood
Knock on
for
wood.
this episode.
You know, like we're in our car and we're trying to be careful how we drive.
Well-
And when we're out and about, we're trying not to get murdered. And yet, life expectancy, when you start looking at that, because Monica, I don't want to die.
I don't want you to.
Thank you. I'm really scared. I don't want you to die.
Thank
Rob,
you.
I don't want you to die. I don't want any of us to die. And I'm unhappy about that arrangement that it happens.
Yeah, that you understand, right? That it is going to happen to all of us.
It's going to happen.
But in a long time.
But it's getting closer. I just turned 41. I'm
I
not
know.
getting.
I already knocked on wood. I already did it. And it counts for the whole episode.
Okay, that's good. It's just I'm starting to feel like my age. I'm feeling more sore in my bones.
You're
I'm
so
worrying about
young,
my
David.
diet. That's really kind of you to say.
But I'm
Thank
being
you.
serious.
But how long can you say that for? When we're doing this in another 10 years, I'm
Yeah.
going to be 51. Are you still going to sit in and go, David, you're so young. Then I'm 71. David, oh, you're such a youthful 71-year-old. I'll be sitting over here like liver spots all over me,
No,
just a
you-
bit
how
ill,
do you-
oxygen tank,
Oh, no, you.
obese from living in America.
No, you're going to take care of yourself.
Okay,
You are going to be a youthful 71-year-old.
thank you.
And I actually think I will probably say that.
Okay.
Because now the older we get, the more we realize how fucked up we were about age. I think 30s is the new 20s. I really do think that. And so that means 40s is the new 30. You know, it's all just
And
trickling.
I like all these things.
Also, 30s really is the new 20. I was talking to Jess about this because you have the money and capability in your 30s for the most part to indulge.
Yeah.
And to live your
you
life.
don't have quite that level of responsibility that you'll have in that next decade.
Exactly. And in your 20s, you have no money and you're just
It's
like
harder.
out
It's
drinking,
harder and harder. Yeah.
like rubbing alcohol to get drunk.
Bath salts.
Yeah. And you feel like shitty.
Yeah, it's
but
hard. Yeah, being a kid is hard.
in your 30s, you can drink Monkey 47. You can drink.
I miss my 30s. So long ago.
I forgot you.
You know?
Okay, you're 41 to remind everyone.
Yeah, I'm
you're
41.
You're in your 30s still.
40 is the new 30s.
Yeah.
I think my main problem where it comes from is because I grew up religious. I thought I had heaven, so I thought I was going to live forever. So when
Oh,
I stopped
that's
believing that,
interesting.
it was a real shock to the system. I was like, I'm actually going to die and not get
Oh.
eternal life. And so I think that's when aging became like it was a real shock.
Daunting.
Because I think a lot of people that think they're going to have eternal life in heaven, between you and me, I don't think they believe it. I think so many
Really?
people are like, oh yeah, eternal life. But if they sit down and really like try and imagine it, they're like, oh, I don't know. As a kid, I was all in. Until about 20, I was like, I'm off to heaven forever.
That's really interesting and an interesting take on it because I do think the reason a lot of people are religious is because of heaven and because of the idea that you'll see your loved ones again. It's a safe feeling.
It's a safe feeling. And I think these tech people like Brian Johnson, who's this man who's injecting his children's blood and stuff to stop the aging process, tech can almost be this other religion. And the way people look
Yeah.
at someone like Elon Musk and what he's doing with Neuralink, the chip in the brain, it is kind of like technology is now this new religion that everyone's
You're
looking to in a
right.
similar obsessive way, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
Be a Loma Linda. It's an hour's drive away.
Wait,
Yes,
can I
I've
have to
got a-
ask you a question? What do
It's
you-
never good when you ask permission.
What scares you about dying?
I love being alive so much.
That's great.
Yes, so much. The idea that I'm trapped in this body, sat here on
Meat
this
suit,
couch,
meat
suit,
Mm-hmm.
and this consciousness is perfectly happy up here as my body slowly decays. The fact I have to deal with that and can't just keep this consciousness going somewhere else, it really bugs me. I find it really unfair.
So you would like, in theory, to upload, not maybe via Elon, but you would like to upload your consciousness?
Absolutely. Yeah,
You
100%.
would.
Yeah, if I can keep my thoughts going and can keep looking at the world and meeting people and having a nice time, then I'm all in. Death to me is,
Wow.
I know people are like, it gives life meaning to dying and
Yeah.
stuff. Go bullshit.
Oh my God.
I want to keep haunting you all forever. You know, I want to attend all of your funerals and be like, and be alive and
No.
well up in the cloud looking in.
Why do you want?
I mean, that's not the main thing I want.
Horrible
But I
thing
want
to do in your
I want to be like,
eternal life.
I want to live forever.
Well, but you're assuming if you're in the cloud, that's connected to your actual consciousness, not just a copy of it.
But if it's a copy, it's still me.
Yeah, this is like the Ray Kurzweil thing. What is you really? What's you is your series of memories and thoughts. It's a philosophical question of what's really you.
Because if you just duplicated you and you're in the cloud, but your consciousness is still in your body, you're not feeling
As long
the
as I don't
connection
know,
to that.
as long as that duplicated thing doesn't know that it's happened and that I'm still thinking like I am now, but I'm up in a cloud.
But it's just a copy
Happy.
of you thinking that. It's not
That's
you.
okay. Don't mind.
But again, what is you? You
What is
know,
me?
you is just a series of chemicals
A
firing
bunch
at
of
all
chemicals
times.
firing around, and we don't even know how the brain really works.
I
Like it's
know.
still this big mushy
It's
mystery.
fascinating. But it's funny, you want to visit our funerals,
Yeah, that's
you
not the
think that'd be
priority.
fun.
That was more of a illustration.
but that's a hesitation for me. If there's a pill, if they say, Monica, we have 20 pills in the whole world and we've picked you and you can live forever if you
Oh my God, don't
Take
tell me
this.
I'll come and murder you.
I
Steal
know.
the pill.
I know this
Yes,
is like
yeah.
limitless. I would really have to think about it because I don't want to be visiting my friends' funerals. Oh God, all these people I love. I don't want to just watch them slowly die off and then I'm left without them. That sounds awful. Ideally, everyone in my whole life will all die at the exact same time when I am 110, but there's also been advancements, so there's no dementia or anything. We're all like,
You're all having a
Good.
great time.
Sounds like you're planning a mass suicide.
I was going to say we're the white rose. Yeah, that is possible, but it's frowned upon. But no, I know what you mean. I completely get it.
are you going to join?
I mean, I'd think about it.
Okay.
I need to do something to improve my current situation, which is just absolute panic over dying.
Okay.
But yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about. And I think we all have different ideas, obviously. I mean, most of us are just trying to actively avoid thinking about what it's going to be like getting to that point, right? We're all rushing
Yes.
around not thinking about it. And,
It's overwhelming.
gives me the creeps. I did my will the other day.
Oh my
drew it up.
God. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I'm giving everything. What am I doing? I'm giving...
Everything that rose about.
She's in there.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
she
giving...
is?
Yeah, no, I'm giving everything to my brother. I don't really care about him so much, but I care about my nieces.
The kids,
So he
yeah.
can distribute it to those little tykes. And then if my whole family gets wiped out, knock
Jesus, that's not wood.
Oh, no. If they all go, then Rosebell gets everything. So I thought I got to pick someone.
Did you tell her?
Yeah, I've told her. Yeah, I checked her that she was okay being in the will.
What did she say?
She was 50-50 on it, but I said, this is happening. I said, Roosevelt, it's happening. You got to deal with the estate. There'll be some things you've got to sort out.
Oh, sure. She didn't want the headache, the red tape.
Or the temptation to murder David.
Yeah, that was also,
How much
potentially an
money
issue.
do you have?
I don't have that much money. No, so she's not going to be like living in a mansion, It's more just she'll have like a lot of admin to do.
Yeah.
Like a lot of administration. It's like one last egg on the head.
It is.
Stay tuned for more Flightless Bird. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Flightless Bird is brought to you by Helix Sleep. I got my Helix mattress about 2 years ago now. It was part of me becoming an American, and a mattress is a really important part of life, and good God, I'm glad I have a good mattress. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including the award-winning Luxe Collection, the newly released Helix Elite Collection, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers like me, and even a mattress made just for kids. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? You take the quiz like I did, and you find the perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. That's then shipped straight to your door free of charge. Helix also knows there's no better way to test out a mattress than by just sleeping on it. Duh. That's why they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your Helix mattress. I took the Helix sleep quiz and was matched with a midnight mattress because I wanted a mattress with a medium feel and I tend to sleep on my side, so that was the one for me. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/bird and use code HelixPartner20. This is their best offer yet and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Flightless Bird is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, how is your social battery doing? I am a fairly introverted person, so I feel like my social battery needs recharging constantly. After a day of talking to people, I just need some quiet time. If I go to a party, I need some quiet time afterwards. And I think just at different times of the year, my social battery does different things. And it can be really easy to ignore and to spread ourselves way too thin. So what's the right amount of socializing for you and how do you recharge? Therapy can give you the self-awareness to build a social life that doesn't drain your battery. I've found therapy incredibly helpful in general just to become more aware of how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it and to sit in those feelings and to figure out what they mean. And I've certainly been taking a lot of notice of what my social battery is doing and why. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to whatever your schedule is. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch at any time for no charge, so the pressure's off. Find your social sweet spot with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/bird today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/bird. All right, so in today's documentary, I head off to the beautiful town of Loma Linda. It was bright and early on a Sunday morning, and I'd been whizzing along the freeway at a brisk 76 miles per hour. To any New Zealand listeners, that's a smooth 104 kilometers per hour. I was in a rush. My life depended on it. Back in LA, I was lumped in with terrible life expectancy statistics. And I'd learned that between 2019 and 2021, the overall life expectancy in America had dropped by about 2 years. So yes, if we're going on stats, I needed to get to Loma Linda as quickly as possible. But I kept my speed at 65 as I didn't want to die in a horrific car accident along the way. So I've been driving about an hour east. It's a Sunday, so the traffic's pretty light, which is good. I'm someone who's terrified of dying. I'm very unhappy with that arrangement. So if there's a city an hour away from where I live, where I get to live longer, then I want to explore that and find out what's going on. Loma Linda is one of 5 so-called blue zones on the planet. If you want to know more, apparently there's a Netflix documentary about them. I'd never heard of a blue zone before I'd heard about Loma Linda. But they're basically regions in the world where people live longer than average. There are blue zones in Italy, Japan, Costa Rica, Greece, and in America, in Loma Linda. I haven't done a lot of research heading into this. I know it's quite a religious town. I think they've got a lot of Seventh-day Adventists there, so maybe it's people's religious brains that are making them live longer. I don't know. Anyway, it's a very grey day. Very grey. It's one of those trips where you're on the freeway and you sort of look around and it just all looks a bit bleak. But I'm heading into the opposite of bleakness. I'm heading into a place of longer lives. What the fuck? How? Alright, I've just passed a sign saying the Loma Linda Auto Centre. I think I'm here, but I just haven't realised. Okay, I've got to get off. Okay, here's my exit. Almost missed it because I was too busy talking into this microphone. I pass a welcome to Loma Linda sign and drive through an area that's mostly trailer parks. It's not quite what I expected. Very, very quiet. There's a Dollar Tree store, Domino's. Just seems very small and very American so far. Chicken tikka masala express. Might get some Indian there later. All right, I guess I'll just drive and see if I get to like the main stretch, the main city centre, and see what's going on here. By now it's about 10 a.m. and I pull into the parking lot outside a supermarket where they're setting up a farmer's market. I notice one woman scurrying around, telling people where to park and set up their stalls.
And then I've got to find a place for one other.
She tells me her name's Debbie. She runs this market, and she's a big fan of New Zealand.
So when we were in New Zealand and Australia both, we saw that the women just looked different. And I was there with my husband and another couple friend, and we kept going, what is so different about them? They look beautiful, healthy, whatever it was. And then it finally dawned on me, there were no plastic tatas. And so they were just themselves, how they came. God made me this way, here I am. And it was a big difference.
I've never heard that expression, plastic tatas.
Well, it's, it's polite. We have so many of them here. We have a lot of names for them.
Back on topic, Debbie tells me that running this market is the best part of her week.
My weekly job, I spend 50 hours a week sitting in front of a computer. I might as well smoke 2 packs of cigarettes. And I do this for fun. This was originally for fun, and now it's my passion. I would give up that desk job any day for this. I mean, I'm right on the cusp. The value of my life is far more important than sitting at a desk and making 10 grand or more a year or whatever it is. If you can make significant money to pay your bills, you're good, but you're active, you're way better off.
Like many people I'd meet in Loma Linda, people are very happy to talk about things like lifestyle, health, diet, and living longer. It's in their blood. Debbie introduces me to her daughter Samantha, who's also a big fan of this town's longevity.
I believe it. I believe it because I know a lot of the people that are in their 80s to 90s still walking around.
What is this town about, would you say? I've just driven in literally, and it seems like a fairly normal American town.
So it originated with the Seventh-day Adventist health systems. So the Seventh-day Adventist church was here. Then they developed their health systems, and they were giving care to the community.
So Loma Linda is full of Seventh-day Adventists. And apparently that does have something to do with the higher life expectancy here, partly because they're all vegetarian. You might remember that religious group from our cereal episode. John Harvey Kellogg was a hardcore Seventh-day Adventist, and he invented the cornflake to stop people masturbating. But he also did it to offer a meat-free breakfast. My point is, Loma Linda is full of Seventh-day Adventists. Therefore, it's full of vegetarians.
At the hospital today, if you go into their cafeteria, it'll be plant-based, all the food. I still remember walking in and going, I'm not eating a nut burger, because that's what they offered. But now, a nut burger, people relish to get that. They're like, I can't wait to have a nut burger.
Eating a nut burger seems much simpler than injecting yourself with your son's blood or putting a chip in your brain. There are other things that probably help in the dying department as well. Seventh-day Adventists tend not to smoke or drink alcohol. And Debbie thinks there's another secret too.
So there's something about that church where community is your priority, your family is your priority. So even if you're not Seventh-day Adventist, you can take a lesson from that, and that is your community should be where you get your uplifting spiritual person and be around like people. That's really what it comes to. Being around, my brother-in-law calls it his tribe. He says, when you're with your tribe, you're the happiest, be it your family or people you chose.
I walk around the market and buy some yummy food. Everyone I talk to talks about the longer lives here. I guess it's the perfect marketing line for whatever you're selling, like Lauren, who's selling vegan carrot cake.
Loma Linda is actually a really healthy city that people live here till they're old and gray pretty much, like 80 or 90. I think that's really beautiful because it's telling that if you take care of yourself, you can really last a while, you know what I mean, pretty much.
Erica is here selling vegan donuts, and had just listened to our donuts episode, apparently.
Yeah, so when that episode aired, I was like, oh, donuts, yes. And then I was setting up and I turned around and I was like, is that David? Is that David? How funny.
Well, I'm doing an episode about this town because apparently everyone here lives the longest in America.
Yeah.
Do you buy it? Is it true? It's a blue zone.
I know there's a lot of vegans here, so maybe that's probably the biggest reason.
Do people seem healthier?
So because I sell donuts that are vegan, and then I sell sugar-free and gluten-free donuts, they're all about that.
I go and eat some of her donuts, sun-kissed donuts. It'd be rude not to. And I realize I need to get moving soon. I'd sort of gotten stuck here, eating things. I wonder if I should move here one day. Debbie's thinking the same thing. While she runs the market in Loma Linda, she doesn't live here, but she's considering making the move.
Me, I'm changing my ways. What it is it's getting me to change my ways because life is becoming more important. As I'm 63 now, and I'm like, what if you only had 10 years left to live? Do you really want to sit there at the desk at the county being an analyst? You got 10 years left. How are you going to spend it?
Yeah.
And what kind of quality do you want? Do you want quality of life? That to me is a big deal, the quality of life.
Well, that's the fear, right? You get to the end and you're like, man, I've spent years sitting, typing. What way is that to live? And you've had extra money and that's taken some stress away. But is it worth it for all the sitting?
Kind of stress. You're trading. Every time we make a decision, we're trading this for that. And is that decision the better decision?
I suppose the quality of your life is probably just as important, probably more important, than the quantity of your life. I think of Brian Johnson, that 46-year-old pouring millions into the de-aging process. I mean, sure, he might end up living longer than the rest of us, but I wonder if it's really living if you spend your days eating vitamins and drinking smoothies between your next blood transfusion. So, Loma Linda, what do we think of it, Monica? We've been to the market so far. I've eaten some donuts.
Okay,
Yum.
tell us the truth. Did you try the sugar-free donut?
It was great. No, genuinely really delish. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they did, but they were really good.
It's like the Amish donuts.
No, those have sugar.
Well,
those
know,
are
but
like
like-
good, real, delicious
Honestly,
donuts.
Mom, these were really good donuts.
Wow,
Yeah, I was a
I'm
little pig.
surprised.
Yeah, I ate a lot there. I actually felt a bit sick afterwards.
You love donuts.
I do love donuts
I do love
so
donuts
much.
too. Apparently, McDonald's is going to sell Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. These
That's
two
exciting.
giants combining.
I'm excited.
Remember
for
when
that.
McDonald's is going hard with these salads? I love that adding donuts, other end of the spectrum.
Me
Do it
too.
all.
Do it all.
Get a salad or a donut, you decide.
Okay, Loma Linda, I was expecting a much more drastic difference other than they go to the farmer's market. I mean, we go to the farmer's market. Also, not to like diminish them, but
No, diminish
80s
away.
is such a low bar. In my prayer when I was a kid, it
Mhm.
was praying that everyone would live up to be 80
Yeah.
years old or over.
Well, it's the thing, average life expectancy here, 76. So when they say 80, they're aiming above average.
But
That's the thing.
But I would expect 100 being sort of the average for a blue zone. But okay, I want to be really clear that we are not saying people should become Seventh-day Adventists. I'm a little anxious that this
Is that what you're saying, David?
No, I mean, look, we get into this a little bit, but this isn't going to be the Seventh-day Adventist episode. I was originally thinking it would be, but it's such a big topic. I'm going to use it as a different episode. But essentially, Loma Linda's whole thing, it's run by Seventh-day Adventists. Like the
Right.
hospitals, everything is Seventh-day Adventist. They don't eat meat. They don't smoke. They don't drink. That's what swings the stats.
Yeah, that
apparently.
makes sense. I mean, to me, if you're
Yeah.
no smoking, no drinking.
But I think signing up to a
vegetarian.
religion isn't going to add 6 years onto your life or anything. And also, I was expecting to go there. Loma Linda, it sounds so quaint. I thought it would be like a little cute town. It
Yeah.
would look really beautifully. It's a bit of a sprawling mess. It's just all over the show. It's just purely this religion in town that
Whoa.
has swung things.
The cult episode,
I think it was
was
seven.
it that?
I think. Oh yeah. I think.
Can
It
we
might be the
look?
Mormons.
No, it wasn't Mormons. One of the stories in the cult
Yeah.
episode of Armchair Anonymous was, I'm pretty sure, and we're getting confirmation,
Yeah.
a Seventh-day Adventist
Trying to get out.
situation. And it
Yeah,
was
right.
rough.
Right. Didn't like them leaving the
Well, they
community.
like murdered her mom.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Allegedly.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
extreme. Look, I'm curious about this because I want to dive into this in the episode of what this religion is like if you're gay or a woman or if you want to leave and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It was Seventh-day Adventist.
it was, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because you're saying the hospital system, or they were saying the hospital
Mm.
system. There was something weird about the hospital stuff.
They didn't report it all properly.
Or like
and
they were
then-
sort of malnourishing them and then sending them to the hospital.
Yes, that was it too. Yeah, they kept having
That's
to
not
go.
good.
She had to go for like nutrients and
Yeah.
IV
Oh,
drips.
God.
Yeah, it was intense.
Let's sink our teeth into this.
We're going to sink our teeth. But again, just reiterating, we're not trying to say that.
Oh, no,
anyone-
I never want anyone to join any religion. No,
I know,
I'm
I
with you
know.
on that.
But it's so fascinating that there's that crossover.
If I could take a lesson, it's don't eat fast food every day. Go for a run. Maybe don't eat meat every
Probably
meal.
don't drink and smoke, but good luck.
Yeah,
Monica.
like drinking and smoking, it's not great for life expectancy.
No, it's
so,
not.
it's very practical things you can do. There's no
Yeah.
like big magic trick.
They believe in an afterlife, right?
They do. They're off to heaven.
To me, that's so strange that they're so obsessed with living forever. Or is that not the goal there?
That's not the goal. That's like a fun side dish.
Okay.
They're not like, we must live forever. No, they've got an eternity coming up that they're very happy to get to. Yeah.
Vegetarianism. This is a big pro for vegetarianism.
It is living longer.
Have
Yeah.
you done any research on the other blue zones to see if they followed these same
No,
practices?
look, I risk doing a what I would call a Lord of the Rings here and saying I haven't done my research. There's a documentary on Netflix about blue zones. I haven't watched it yet. I mean, in my mind, it sounds to me like a big, fun marketing tactic.
Yeah,
to
there's
like
some controversy
put some
around
things on the
blue
map,
zones,
you
yeah.
know. And I think even like, come on, the premise of this lumping Loma Linda in with Greece. I'm skeptical about how that came to be. You know.
I have heard living above malls is a blue zone.
Oh, that's the thing.
my
Yeah,
right.
you'll live
Well, you
longer.
have
Right,
to
live
go
longer
try
with the
it.
Americana.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I actually could see that because it's so cheerful.
yeah.
Then does it turn?
I mean, like
and then it's so
holidays?
much commerce.
Imagine that Christmas
The
Imagine
holidays.
Christmas music.
Oh. Why don't we do a month to month
Hmm.
lease over the Americana, and then over
Oh.
Christmas we could live there?
It would make you slowly go deranged. I reckon
I
if that
would
like Christmas.
love
You get
it.
fake snow drifting in through the window.
I know.
So imagine taking like a date home and you go to like you get the Americana, like, why are we at the mall? No, this is home. This is my staircase. It's
Oh my god!
just wild. Like you leave the movies, it's like you want to come to my place. It's
Yeah,
like you just
there
like
it
walk 20 seconds down the
Oh,
road.
that would
They would
creep
think you're a
me
serial killer for
out.
sure.
It is serial
Yeah,
killer vibes.
that would
yeah,
creep
it's
me
not a
out.
great vibe. Where's home? Oh no, we're home. Leave the movie theater. Oh no, home. This is my front yard.
I live here. Yeah, it's creepy.
Awful.
Oof.
Stay tuned for more Flightless Bird. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Support for Flightless Bird comes from Quince. I've been buying a few things from Quince recently. It got very cold here in LA, so I needed a bunch of beautiful sweaters, and I got them from Quince. Basically, picture a wardrobe upgrade with quality essentials at an unbeatable price. Quince has you covered with timeless pieces that never go out of style. You'll have them in your closet forever. Quince has all the must-haves like Mongolian cashmere crewneck sweaters from $50, iconic 100% leather jackets, and versatile flow knit activewear. The best part? Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And for me, that is kind of incredible. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to you and me. So yeah, as I say, I got a couple of really great sweaters, and I also have some activewear on the way because I'm trying to be more active. Got to get that summer bod ready. And yeah, the sweaters go really well with my other clothing. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/bird for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/bird to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/bird. Okay, we're gonna learn a little bit more about Loma Linda.
Okay.
Not a lot, just a little tiny bit. It was clear that most people put Loma Linda's life expectancy down to the healthy ways of the Seventh-day Adventists. Driving around, it's clear how much they run this town. 2 of North America's largest medical schools and hospitals are found here, and they're both run by the Seventh-day Adventists. Both of them play a part in spreading the church's messages of healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle. Now, I wanted to learn more about the Seventh-day Adventists, but there was a slight problem. I'd come here on a Sunday assuming they'd all be at church. I'd just turn up at lunchtime and catch them coming out, quizzing them about their life expectancy. But it turns out I'm a massive idiot. The clue was in the name. Seventh-day Adventists. Their holy day is on Saturday, which is the 7th day of the week in their particular calendar. They're all at home. Foiled by my own stupidity, I figured this religion is probably worth a separate Flightless Bird. I mean, it was invented in America 161 years ago, and now it's one of the fastest growing religions in the world with about 22 million members. They've got 7,500 schools and run the worldwide cereal empire Sanitarium, a business which is, thanks to religion, entirely tax exempt. So if you've got any hot tips about this religion, please get in touch. But back to the topic of longevity. As I drove around town, I kept coming back to something Samantha had said to me, something she had noticed about one of Loma Linda's elderly residents.
And I think it's because she never stops moving. She's always walking. Those things have a little bit of factor in longevity. I truly believe so, especially the moving, because a lot of the people that live around here walk here.
Exercise. Maybe exercise has something to do with longevity. And so I got on my phone and Googled Loma Linda Gym. I needed to find some fitness freaks. The first hit I found was called Freedom in Motion, and it was apparently a parkour gym. I had no idea parkour gyms were a real thing, so of course I had to check it out.
Ready? Yes! Go!
I walked into a giant room that's sort of what you might imagine a parkour gym might look like. There are obstacles everywhere, all padded with those blue gym mats. Today, they're taking a class for kids. They look about 8 years old, and they're learning how to do parkour. If you missed the memo, parkour started in France in the mid-90s. And if you watch The Office, you'll know it eventually made its way to America.
This is parkour. Internet sensation of 2004. And it was in one of the Bond films. It's pretty impressive. The goal is to get from point A to point B as creatively as possible. So technically they are doing parkour as long as point A is delusion and point B is the hospital.
I thought that its appearance in The Office would have killed the sport, but here it is, in Loma Linda, being taught to kids, a whole new generation of parkour enthusiasts.
People get this weird stigma about parkour that in order to do it, you have to like jump roof gaps and do flips and crazy stuff. And that's part of it. But honestly, one of the biggest things is just being in tune with natural movement and interacting with your environment in fun and creative ways.
I find myself talking to Stephen, one of the coaches who teaches parkour. His Instagram handle is Sir Freerunner. He has a top knot and he loves parkour. So I've been in America for 2 years now. I've never come across a parkour gym. Is this unique, or have I just not seen one before?
So they're new. It's one of those things that is starting to catch on in popularity, but before, there wasn't really a good foundation to get them started, but we have seen an uptick in their popularity. So similar to how like CrossFit was this unknown thing and all of a sudden started blowing up as this cool new way to work out. That's kind of what parkour is doing right now.
I imagine you are into parkour.
Oh, yes. I've been doing it for the past 12-ish years now. So I started at 19, which is a little like late on the curve for some people's standards, but we have one student who literally is 54 years old and just started this year, and she has been loving it.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about parkour?
So I think the biggest misconception is people think that you either already need to be fit to do this. You don't. You can start at any fitness level. And people think that you need to be like young or flexible, but there is no barrier to entry when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. It's something that anybody can pick up at any point in their life. As long as you start up from the basics and work your way up, it's totally something that anyone can do.
Looking at all these kids doing parkour in the background, I wonder if exercise, more specifically parkour, is the answer to Loma Linda's longevity. Stephen thinks it's a possibility, and he hasn't let that episode of The Office get in his way.
Honestly, I loved that episode. Yeah, it's kind of funny and it pokes fun at parkour, as them just kind of going around and goofing about it. But honestly, I get it all the time. As soon as my friends or family find out that I do this kind of stuff, that's the first video they send me. And they're like, have you ever seen this video? And I'm like, more times than you can imagine. But honestly, I take it all in good faith. It's a sport that I'm very passionate about, that I've obviously been in love with for so long. So to me, it's all in good fun. I love that The Office in general. That episode is one of my favorites, so I never really get tired of it.
I'm offered a lesson in parkour, but I decline. I ate so many donuts earlier at the market and decide leaping between objects isn't for me right now. I've enjoyed my time here in Loma Linda, and discovered their secret for longer lives might be pretty simple: a healthy lifestyle. If anything, Loma Linda's reminded me how much religion plays into the culture of various American cities. Utah has Mormons, Loma Linda has the Seventh-day Adventists, and I guess I'm headed back to LA. home of Scientology. I'm not sure any of these religions is the one for me, but for the first time in ages, I've started to think that maybe it's time to stop eating all that meat and being less lazy. That seems a lot easier than moving to Loma Linda and taking up parkour. So your good news for you, Monica, I'm not moving to Loma Linda.
Oh, thank
I'm gonna
God.
stay here in Los Feliz.
Are you gonna eat less meat after this?
I keep meaning to do that,
I
but
know.
I think I'm not going to stop eating meat. That's too hard because I'm sort of lazy and I'm a bad cook and meat is just so easy. But I'm going to eat less meat.
But are you gonna make it strict? I mean,
can't do strict.
but then you're not gonna do it.
I'll do it.
No.
I'm already doing it.
That's the
I'm
problem.
already eating less meat.
Not strict. I just mean you have to have rules around it or you won't do it.
I'm doing it.
How do you know?
Just loose. Now, my rule is just have meat in meals twice a week as opposed to like every day.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I've got loose rules.
Okay.
And I also think just generally it's better for the planet having like less meat consumption. And I think for me, it's more practical to just eat way less than having a no meat rule.
I'm with you. I eat meat. I don't see me fully cutting that out ever.
If the whole planet ate less meat instead of you must eat no meat, I think that would be a better way to get things slightly righted
Yes,
in
I
the
agree.
world.
This was interesting. This just sort of reiterates what we already know, right? Which is healthy diet, more plant-based, exercise,
do some walking.
Yeah,
do
move
some
your
walking,
body.
move the bod.
Have a community
Have
of
a community,
people,
yes.
And
all those
that's
things can, it's really simple, actually, like really simple takeaways, but also things that can sometimes sort of be easy to forget, I think.
The easiest to forget.
Yeah. This has
I
been,
guess no smoking and drinking. I
no smoking
elected
and
to
drinking.
take that one out.
Do you ever smoke?
No.
Have you ever smoked?
I've never smoked a
Have
cigarette.
you tried?
I've smoked weed twice in my life.
Yeah. But not like
It's
a
not for me.
nicotine cigarette.
No, never.
I've tried to take up smoking
Did
before
you
because
like
it's
it?
cool. I can't inhale.
Yeah.
I just cough and choke.
Yeah, I
and
don't
it's
really-
super embarrassing.
Even the weed, I didn't do it right.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't really understand
It's really
this
cute. It's
mechanism.
really good. It's probably like a good health choice, you know?
Yeah, it worked out.
Okay, so we've got to learn to be healthier. I've learned that I'm going to investigate this church more, and it sounds like we might have some juicy leads. I mean, I was tearing around town that whole day. I went into old folks' homes to try and talk to some really old people. So many forms to fill in. I'm still waiting for them to get back to me. I did really push to try and do some other stuff, but really just sort of failed miserably. So I want to do a separate episode about the church.
Do we think they have a lot of homes?
There are a lot of retirement villages there, but then I don't know if that's just because I was looking for them.
Beta mine, huh?
Yeah, so maybe that was it. Where am I going to end up when I'm old? I mean, I'm sort of afraid I'm going to be shipped off to just a home and just not have any friends, no children, just wheeling around. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's hard. I need to think about this more. I need to put it in my will that Roosevelt, that, I don't know, I'm dead then. I need some sort of plan.
I know.
I need to plan this aging thing.
I agree. It's really complicated, and most people avoid it for
Yeah.
so long, and then you're just there, and it's
May,
too
is that
late.
an episode? Death in America? What we think about it? The percentage of us shipped off to retirement villages? How
Homes
many,
is
hospices,
definitely-
homes?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an episode for sure.
Could be an episode.
Okay, I have a question. What is the worst way of dying, in your opinion?
Oh, the worst way of dying? I think it's that classic buried alive.
Buried alive.
I'm claustrophobic. Don't like it when a lift stops. I mean, there's different like torture methods, which would be bad. Default's buried. What about you?
I need to tell you a story about buried alive. It was from Instagram. So
Okay.
I don't know for sure if it was real, but I think it was. This is really upsetting. A girl got buried alive in a sand hole on the beach.
Oh, it caved in?
Yes.
I feel like I read something about this as
Did
well.
you?
Yeah.
The parents are right there. I don't even really understand it.
Yeah,
How-
what happened? How could you not just dig someone out
Right.
like really quickly? There's a few stories like that where people just get a bit ahead of themselves and it collapses, and that sand's heavy when it all collapses. Like if you're
Right.
tunneling, and of course I know tunneling, my favorite thing. If you're like tunneling down deep and that sand comes down, and you don't need to be under there longer as a child to like very long to run out of oxygen. That is horrific.
Horrific.
Oh wow, Monica.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 2 days in a row, I heard that story. Then I heard the Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law story where she drowned, like in her car.
Oh man.
And that's my worst. Drowning, drowning in your car. Oh my God.
Drowning in the car.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Yeah, horrible.
I mean, fires would be bad. There's so many bad ways.
There's no great way.
Well, no, I think a fine
I want to go out in my
way-
sleep.
In your sleep, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when you go to sleep, do you think this could be it?
I have thought that.
You have that thought?
I have.
Yeah. And I always wonder how long it'll take for someone to find the body. It's like, fuck, we haven't heard from David in like a month.
A month?
Maybe
Oh
he's
my
off on a
God.
flightless bird.
We've talked about this. It would be like 3 days.
You reckon 3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had a plan, like if you died last night and we were recording today and you weren't
I didn't turn
answering
up.
and you weren't here,
Yeah, what are you
we'd
doing?
go to your house.
You go to the apartment?
Break down
Yeah.
the door.
Well,
Okay,
we'd
you'd go and
knock.
check.
You wouldn't answer.
You do that.
Of course.
Yeah, if you just didn't show up.
Didn't show up.
I also have a very
You'd be
quick
angry.
trigger for people who aren't answering. Like I
Yeah.
thought Liz was dead, and
Oh,
I
that's right. You went
remember,
a bit
and I
cra-
sent
I mean,
someone,
you did.
yeah, to her apartment in New York. It was a whole thing.
I've had a friend disappear recently, being ghosted. Yeah. I
Wait,
know.
are
yeah.
they disappeared or have you been ghosted?
I know. I've found out I've been ghosted
Oh.
because and that's the thing. I was like, the only reason is they must be dead. I was worried. I mean, I reached out to like mutual friends, and this person I know through a work thing, and so I don't know their inner circle very well. So it was a lot of online stalking, trying to find their friends to check what was going on. Really weird.
Did you have a spidey sense something was wrong?
No, not for. I just thought because they're super busy.
Okay.
And to be honest, I still think maybe they are just too busy and a certain level of friend has been cut
dropped off.
But I don't know. When you're not responding to messages that are like, I'm worried.
Exactly.
That's like, it's just a bit stressful.
It is.
And I wanted to
stressful.
make sure they hadn't been kidnapped and like they're in some cabin and all their friends were just going, they're busy.
Exactly.
Where are they?
Exactly.
But then
I'm
I
glad you
found
looked
someone
into
who's working with them at the moment and apparently they're fine.
They just don't like you.
So they just don't like me,
But they
which
could
is
be-
impossible.
It is
Like, how could
impossible.
someone like not like me? Impossible. So clearly something else is going on. Okay, but thank you. Like 3 days, yeah, you'd go and knock on my door. You'd try and find me.
The problem is if we don't. I mean, sometimes we don't record for a week. That could be bad.
That'd be the problem. So a week max, probably. Because my friends wouldn't really care. They'd just be like, Dave's off. They'd probably be like, he's off recording and a
Right, they wouldn't
podcast or something.
know.
They don't really,
Swimming.
He's not responding. He's swimming or something. And that's the worry. It's like, how much does the body decay before they find you? Like, how embarrassing is
Oh
it when
my
they do
God.
find you? Like, what's the smell going to be like? Are there going to be flies?
Well, we heard a horrifying Armchair Anonymous story.
Ugh.
By this time, it will be out, so I think it's fine for me to say.
Mm,
But a delivery man was delivering a package
mm.
to a guy, and the guy was dead outside. And he kind of a little blue, and he had all these cats, and they were eating his head off.
Oh, that's much more hectic than I imagined. Like, that's a real scene.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
Right.
don't have cats. That's like lesson number 1. They eat your head.
Late with the delivery.
I think dogs will too.
No, it's a cat thing.
Put it all on cats.
And I don't even like dogs, but I don't think they do that. I really don't think they do that.
Yeah, you do wonder at what point the
Unless
bet turns
they're
on you.
rabid.
You know? Yeah.
Well, apparently cats immediately turn. Like they have
I
no
don't know about this.
no missing period. They just start eating
Straight
you.
nibbling. Well, they get so hungry, don't they?
Ugh.
Yeah.
I think cats are demonic. I hate cats.
I'm a cat guy, and I can see how they have elements of demon in them. But that's kind of what makes me love
That's
them.
why you like
That's why I sort of
them.
love them.
I
Because then
know.
when you win them over and they sit on your lap, you're like, oh my God,
That's
I've
what
like
you-
won this creature over. It's so warm. They purr.
Oh my God, David, you're so like,
Beautiful.
it's such a classic girl who is trying to get the bad boy and thinks they can change him. And then the bad boy
Gonna be
eats
eating
their
my
head.
face. Yeah, oh, I
Yeah.
don't want that.
This says a cat will remove your head in 24 hours.
Duh!
But dogs will hold out until they have nothing left to eat.
Right.
Okay,
That's
so they'll
fine.
eventually
They'll
snap.
eventually get to you.
But a cat's a bit hungry.
Yeah, it's like
And
It
it's
doesn't
gonna
even.
check.
It's not even hungry. It's just like this is
Oh
a so.
my
This I've been waiting for this.
God.
They're disgusting. Oh my God, I hate cats.
Wait, what happened? Have you had a particular
No,
experience?
Taylor has a cat.
I know she has 2, Meredith and somebody else.
You need to meet a nice cat. They exist.
I used to hate them so much, and then I turned a little bit because my friend Laura has cats. She's a huge cat person, and So I've been around her cats. She fostered all these kittens and they were cute. I liked those.
You like the kittens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of her cats does this horrible thing and Laura always defends it. She'll come up and sort of brush on you and
Monica,
No, not Laura, the cat.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know.
It will be friendly. It'll like brush up on you and then you think it's friends, right? And so you'll like pet it and it'll be all affectionate and then it bites you. It like jumps and scratch. It literally lures you in and then scratches and
Yeah, I can't defend that behavior from cats. They are little shitheads when they do that. The other thing cats do is they'll sometimes do a cute thing where they go on their back and their little tums exposed and you're like, oh, that's so cute. And that's a classic cat trap because you put the hand in there for like a scratch and then its front legs will like grab you while its back legs kick with its claws out. You get fucked up.
No, this is a bad animal.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue against. I just love cats so much. I'm such a fan.
Why?
I'll put up
and
with the
why
scratches.
does Taylor love cats?
Just that it's the purring, it's the warmth. They are cute little fur. They're not always attacking.
They're not even cuddly. A lot of them
they
don't
can be
like...
cuddly.
They're low maintenance.
You can get a cuddly cat.
They're much more low maintenance than a
Yeah,
dog,
that's
too.
true.
You can like leave them for a
week.
bit and it's going to be fine. Like leave a bit of food out in the dispenser, it'll be fine.
That's why
Doesn't
then
need
they eat
love.
your head off.
So they eat your head off.
It doesn't need love because it's a psychopath. I think
that's what I like about them. Like they don't need love. They're a bit self-sufficient. They can just live their life. They can accept a bit of love if they want now and then, but it's not
that's
like
the problem
needed.
with them. They don't
And that's why
love...
I think that's a good thing about them.
You're fine with something just immediately that you've taken care of for 10 years. As soon as you die, they eat your head.
I'm avoidant. I understand it. This is like
Dave,
behavior I understand. I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to become more like a dog.
Would you eat our heads off? Are you a cat?
I wouldn't do that cat behavior. No, I have limits.
Would you be upset if we died?
Of course I'd be upset. But also, I also have a theory that I'm always amazed when people do die, how quickly people get over it. Because we all have to. We all have to get on with our lives.
Yeah.
This is a dark tone. But people do, I think people get over people dying quicker than they should. I think mourning should be a lot longer than it currently is. Just like sometimes, someone can be dead a week and people aren't talking about them again. I'm like, give it two at least.
Are these people who they know?
Yeah, I just think people, just as an overall theory I have.
Really?
Is that people get over it way too quick.
No, I
it depends on the relationship. If your like spouse or child dies,
oh my
like,
God,
it's not
never.
a week.
You'll never get over that.
Never in a week.
And then spouse.
Maybe never.
I know. I was
This is like friends, maybe that you see every once in a while. That you're talking about.
My theory might be
who you don't remember their
My theory
name.
might be weak as I hear you talking. I just think occasionally it's quick.
I think you hang out with weird cat.
It could be the cat people I hang out with.
Oh.
It could be a me issue and not an everyone else issue. I need to look inward.
I wish you would ask the Loma Linda community can you look at the percentage of pets in Loma Linda?
Oh, pets.
What if that makes a difference?
Do also, if you have a pet, you do have a higher life expectancy, I think, because you're more calm.
Are you making that up?
I am.
Yeah, I knew you made that
This
up.
data doesn't exist.
Oh,
Percentage of pets.
It's annoying when there's not data on something you really want. We need more data.
We do.
Need more data.
Okay.
It's only 9,000 people there. We could probably do our own little survey.
Oh.
Okay, I'll head back there on the weekend.
Oh, there's only 9,000 people.
Linda.
That's
small.
Contributes to the community element.
Small. They all have the same belief system.
Yeah, wow.
All right.
Okay, this was...
There's a process. We went from parkour.
Yeah.
We covered donuts.
Dune 2.
Dune 2. Had a weird Dune 2 cold open.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
what an episode.
I just... Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, what?
The girl in the sand, Dune 2.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of that.
That all circles back.
It's a bit of a stretch. It all comes together. Thanks for perfectly bringing it all back.
As I do.
Monica, you're fucking pro. All right, enjoy June 2.
Thank you. Bye.